Revenge, revelations, and rivalries. General Hospital spins out of control as May ends in chaos. Port Charles is about to combust as General Hospital unleashes a storm of betrayals, secrets, and deeply personal reckonings from May 19 through May 30, 2025. What begins as quiet manipulations behind the scenes soon evolves into seismic shifts in relationships and power dynamics across the canvas. From Emma's vengeful resurgence to Carly's confrontations and Sasha's unraveling, no character emerges untouched from the gathering storm. The first tremors begin with Willow Tate Corinthos. Caught in a legal maelstrom over custody, Willow finds herself cornered when Sonny Corinthos unexpectedly contacts her, urging a postponement of the court proceedings. He cites Michael's continued absence in Germany as reason enough to delay. Yet Willow, hardened by Michael's cold distance and refusal to even meet her abroad, begins to see the situation through a different lens. Her trust in Michael falters, and Sonny's attempt to mediate might backfire as Willow questions the motivations behind every man pulling the strings of her life. The court date looms, and with a child at stake, Willow is forced to ask herself what concessions she's willing to make and what truths she's ready to confront. But Willow isn't the only one crumbling under pressure. Sasha Gilmore Corbin is blindsided when Rick Lansing reveals she's been placed on the witness list. For Sasha, this is more than a procedural inconvenience, it's a looming exposure. Desperate to protect the secret she's been harboring, Sasha panics at the thought that her pregnancy, and its shocking connection to Michael, could soon be public knowledge. Her trust in Rick dissolves, and her paranoia intensifies as she realizes how little control she actually has. She may not be on trial, but Sasha feels like she's standing before a firing squad. Meanwhile, Carly Spencer is quietly orchestrating her own battles behind closed doors. In a moment of vulnerability, she confides in Jocelyn Jacks, only to inadvertently spark a chain of emotional dominoes. Jocelyn's anger is swift and fierce, directed squarely at Willow, whom she blames for endangering their family. As if that weren't enough, Carly's already volatile relationship with Nina Reeves erupts into a physical altercation when Nina slaps her across the face during a heated exchange. But Carly is far from retreating. When she crosses paths with Vaughn, her instincts flare. She begins questioning him, probing his knowledge and motives with the precision of someone who has survived too many betrayals to ignore the signs. Vaughn, for his part, seems prepared, but is he ready for Carly's brand of unrelenting scrutiny? Elsewhere, Portia Robinson finds herself in an uncomfortable entanglement. A seemingly innocuous friend request may reopen old emotional wounds when Isaiah Gannon reappears. Though he offers Willow gentle advice under the guise of friendly concern, his presence disrupts Portia's already fragile personal life. Caught between a fractured marriage and unresolved feelings, Portia teeters on the edge of making choices that could spiral her family into further dysfunction. Her quiet conversation, overheard by Isaiah, might soon become a source of renewed tension, and potentially, betrayal. In the darker corners of the canvas, Curtis Ashford's simmering feud with Drew Kane begins to boil over. As the lines between ally and adversary blur, their once shared mission could collapse under the weight of personal resentment. Meanwhile, Lulu Spencer and Cody Bell race against time in their search for evidence tied to a deeper mystery. All signs point toward the upcoming nurses' ball as the flashpoint where secrets will be laid bare. For Lucy Coe, however, the gala may be less celebration and more crisis, as a personal or professional disaster begins to unfold. And as the chaos mounts, Anna Devane sets her sights on a strategic plan, one that could reshape allegiances across Port Charles. The second week of this explosive two-week arc takes the narrative deeper into dangerous territory. Jason Morgan receives a cryptic phone call that rattles even his stoic demeanor. What lies on the other end of that line threatens not just Jason's life but the already fragile peace in Port Charles. The unknown caller's agenda is unclear, but the aftermath could spell disaster for multiple families. Carly, still entrenched in her custody battle, intensifies her consultation with Diane Miller. Every decision now holds massive consequences, and Carly is determined not to be outmaneuvered, no matter who she has to go through. But the most shocking developments belong to a long-simmering mystery finally boiling over. Lulu uncovers hard evidence tied to Giovanni, Gio, Palmieri, a revelation that ripples violently across several lives. Gio's combative relationship with Dante Falconeri explodes when the truth of their biological connection comes to light. The revelation that they are father and son turns past animosities into agonizing regret and confusion. Dante is forced to confront the damage done by years of unknowing hostility, while Gio must reevaluate everything he's believed about his place in the world. This discovery doesn't just disrupt their bond, it reverberates across to Brooke Lynn and her mother Lois Cerullo, whose silence may now be judged as betrayal. In the midst of this familial fallout, Brooke Lynn's own history begins to cast long shadows. Questions emerge about her relationships with both Cody and Dante, forcing her to clarify her loyalties and confront unresolved romantic entanglements. The web of secrets she's helped sustain is beginning to unravel, and she may find herself with nowhere left to hide. Finally, Emma Scorpio Drake, once the quiet observer, steps out of the shadows. The revelation that Jocelyn stole her opportunity to become a research assistant ignites a firestorm of vengeful energy. Emma, usually guided by morality and restraint, begins to plot revenge. But in her rush to retaliate, she remains unaware that her actions could interfere with a covert WSB operation. Her personal vendetta may become the very thing that jeopardizes national security, setting the stage for devastating consequences she never intended. As May draws to a close, Port Charles is a city on the brink. Every character is faced with a defining choice: fight for the truth or drown in the lies they helped build. Secrets are weaponized, alliances fracture, and hidden agendas claw their way into the light. For viewers, these next 2 weeks promise to be a high-stakes, emotionally charged spectacle. The past returns with a vengeance, the present trembles beneath its weight, and the future is anything but certain. Welcome to the end of May in General Hospital, where peace is an illusion, and every heartbeat could be the start of war.